All right, everybody, welcome into the room. And while you do so, we'd like to say welcome to BroDown. I'm your host, Mac Davis. And of course, that is none other than a former UCW heavyweight champion and the most hated man in professional wrestling, Mr. Vince Russo. Hey, Vince.
What's up, Mac? What's going on, my friend?
All right, now since you got the tank top on and you got the gun show going, let's talk about that tattoo that you couldn't show me last week. What did you get?
My bulldog Penelope.
Ah, very cool. Very cool. Boy, that's a good job, too.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. What, you got a local artist there that
I go to a guy in Boulder. Boulder, Colorado's about, 20 minutes from my house. I go to a guy in Boulder for all my tats.
Luke, Vince, I don't know if you've heard this because I don't know that it's really been in the news too much, but Raja Jackson, did you hear about this?
Hey, bro, I swear to God, it is so sad, but man, it's a relief when there's big news like that because there's something to talk about all week.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, my God, when there's something to talk about in wrestling, it makes our job so much easier, man.
I got to tell you, I've done a couple of shows and the topic has come up. And one of the things that I keep saying, it seems like for some people, they can't get this in their head. And Vince, I don't even know where you fall on this because I haven't listened to your view on this. But my overall view was, I don't care what was planned or not planned, if it was planned, if it wasn't planned. I don't care. There comes a point, a man beating a man that hard, his mind should say, I'm killing this guy. Wouldn't you think that is a natural response that we would all have, that I got to stop, this guy's going to die right in front of me?
Yeah, listen, I've been saying this all week, Mac. There is no doubt in my mind that one wrestler saved that dude's life.
Yes.
He was
Absolutely.
not stopping, bro. He was not stopping. If that one dude didn't take him down, he would have killed that man in the middle of the ring without a shadow of a doubt.
And I still see people trying to justify, why, he may have gone off and everything else. There is no justification for what he did. The man, was choking on his own blood and his own teeth. How much more could he possibly have taken? Like you said, one more punch could have done it.
And even in MMA, Mac, I'm not an MMA guy, but from what I understand, the code is when you've got a guy knocked unconscious, you get off of him. I understand, like, that's the code in MMA. This guy's supposed to be an MMA fighter. The Stu was clearly out, and he wasn't getting off of anybody.
I think he was out the first time he hit the mat. When his head hit that mat, I think he was out cold.
I do too.
Yeah, I understand there's a lot of views and there's a lot of video out there, which is, if you watch it all, you can kind of see what happened. But, I wasn't there, so I can't say. But the only thing I will say is that there comes a point that any human being has to know you're killing somebody. You're not just hurting somebody. You are killing somebody. And I can't look past that.
But also, Mac, here's another part of the story that nobody's really talking about that blows my mind. Bro, the WWE was affiliated with this company. Are you kidding me? Like, can you imagine if, Mac, all the videos you and I saw during this week, can you imagine Ari Emanuel and the executives at TKO seeing the same things that we say and then saying, who made the decision that it was a good idea for our company to be associated with them?
And this hurts the other companies too, because there may be a lot of other great companies out there that are doing the right thing, but this one company could kill it for everybody in WWE because now they've got to worry. And look, I even wonder, are they somehow responsible? Can they get sued somehow in this process?
Absolutely, Mac. If Psycho Stu decides he wants to lawyer up, the WWE is getting sued because when you have a good lawyer, Mac, he's suing everybody. He's suing the venue. He's suing the promoter. He definitely is going to sue the WWE for, literally being in business with them. Literally, the WWE ID is endorsing this company. Did you see the thugs in the backstage? Did you see these people they're endorsing, Mac?
Now, I've been to a lot of Southern wrestling independent shows. I've performed on many of these shows. So some of the scenes I was seeing, not unusual, when it came to independent wrestling. But I think it was just a mix of a lot of guys trying to really get Rajas pissed off before he even got into the ring. It seemed like they were poking him as much as they possibly could, especially one guy in particular. But my God, I just nothing justifies what he did to Psychos 2. Just nothing.
And I think this is going to turn into a big headache for the WWE. I really, really do, because if there's a lawsuit and mainstream media really starts talking about it, and then they tie WWE's name to it, that's the headline. That's the headline right there. You know how media works, Matt.
Oh, yeah. And like you said, the attorneys, they're going to go after where the money is. And the money's in WWE TKO.
Yep.
If you'd like to be on part of the show tonight, all you got to do is drop us a super chat. We'll throw it up on the screen. And we encourage you to do so, because we always enjoy talking about your questions and your comments, more so than what we had to watch tonight. And before we talk about anything in particular, Vince, I got to tell you, tonight's show in some cases felt like a repeat. In other cases, it felt like I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Mac. You know what I do now? I must have did it about 5 times on Raw. I swear to you. I'll write it down, and I'll write next to it LW, 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 LW. You know what LW means?
What does LW mean?
You did the same exact thing last week.
Yes.
Last week you did the same exact thing last week. That's why you're opening up this show with John Cena and Logan Paul. What's going to be said that I haven't already heard? Yeah. Seriously, what are they going to say that they haven't already said, that you're just going to repeat the same promo again?
And that's really what they did. Now, see, back in the old days and territory days, the guys would actually do these matches over and over again in different towns because they weren't televised, and they could get away with that. And they could, they could actually enhance that match by trying different things along the way. But yeah, they opened the show tonight, Vince, and all I could think of was, didn't we just see this last week? And it was John Cena doing the same thing he did tonight, dressing down Logan Paul in the ring. And Logan Paul, I'll give him this. I think he's great on the microphone. The dude is great on the microphone.
Right.
But when Cena came out, that's when I felt like the steam just disappeared, because he came out repeating basically the same thing he said last week. And I don't understand how you do that.
And again, on top of that, Mac, is it this weekend, Paris? Is that this weekend?
Yes, Sunday at 2:00 Eastern time.
And zero heat going into that show. No heat.
There was nothing on tonight's show that excited me whatsoever. The only thing was the very opening. And then when I saw where that went, I was like, okay, well, see what happens next.
Yeah.
And it just went downhill from there. This was a house show put on TV again tonight. And it was only done, as you mentioned, as a repeat, because they're going from a different city, in the UK, wherever they may be. And they're just kind of retooling the same thing you saw the week before for that fan base there.
Yeah.
So hopefully after Sunday.
Yeah, and even like just a lot of questionable things, like right after this, they go to the Street Profits in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Bo Dallas coming out as Bo Dallas?
Thank you. I was going to say, do I call him Bo Dallas, or is this Uncle Howdy? I got really confused when he walked up like that.
Why?
I don't know.
I swear to God, sometimes I'm watching this show. And I'm really starting to believe, like, are you doing this purposely to see if, like, we catch it? Because here's another thing, Mac. Here's another thing, like, that is just makes zero sense whatsoever. The main event, all the Samoans go out there. Why is Sami Zayn going out there by himself? You want to do this right, and you want to have a pop. Introduce the Samoans, introduce Sami Zayn. Sami's coming to the ring, stops at the bottom of the ramp, hit Jimmy's music. Jimmy comes out, hit Fatu's. You're gonna let Sami go this entire match 4-on-1, and then you're gonna. Does that make any sense whatsoever to anybody? Then, I swear to God, Randy Orton lays out 4 referees and management. You think there's going to be any ramifications at all about that next week?
No.
Nothing, bro. You know it. You know they're not going to do nothing about that.
I'm surprised that when you brought up Sami Zayn that you didn't say "I told you so" because you've been saying this for a while. Traffic Jam even saying Sami Zayn is a champion is unreal. Why Trips? Why? But you have been saying for how long now?
And you know what, Mac? I would love to do this. This is where I would love to go. I would love to do this. And I would love to say they took the belt off of Solo because of what happened with in LA with his family.
Really?
But no, they were going to put the belt on Sami all along, bro. All along, that was the plan.
Yeah, I saw so many guys in the comment section before we even opened up the show tonight, and they were all saying the same thing. Vince Russo told y'all. He's been telling you for a while. They're getting him primed to win the championship. Just keep watching.
Yep.
Let's see. Bill Stewart saying, "I bet my life Triple H." Bro,
there is something. This love for Sami is so strange. There's got to be something to it that we don't know, because it is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
He reminds me, is it Fidel Castro? Is that who I'm thinking of? The dictator. Yeah, he reminds me sometimes of that same guy. He just, there's not much to Sami. He's a likable guy, but he is a champion.
I was thinking about, because, bro, like Bob Holly, somebody said somebody might have hacked his account, but I think this was Bob Holly. Bob Holly's account tweeted out, "I can't imagine if I would have looked across the ring and saw Sami Zayn in the Brawl for All." Bro, look at the guys. Mac, look at the guys that were in the Brawl for All.
Yes.
And look at this freaking jabroni who's a champion. Are you kidding me? He would not have gone 1 minute with anybody in that Brawl for All. Nobody. Nobody. He would not have lasted 1 minute with any of those guys.
And that's reality, and that's the thing. People, when they see someone, and I brought this up about Becky Lynch. Becky, fine person, but she doesn't have that champion look to me. She's not big enough and strong enough to handle the majority of the women who are already on the roster. So it's not believable to me. My eye has got to see something and be able to believe it at the same time.
And that's what people lose sight of, Mac. That's how casual fans look at things. A casual fan, bro, if you've got 4 to 6 buddies together drinking beer, either they're at home or they're at the bar or wherever they are, and Sami Zayn comes on that screen, every one of those guys are saying, "I could beat that guy's ass." That's what regular people are saying, man.
And then that's not a knock on Sami. It's just that he's put in a position that he doesn't fit. I mean, if you had a movie role, if you were placing actors in a movie, would you put him as your main action hero?
Oh, yeah, I would have put him in the Terminator role.
Oh, you would as the Terminator?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me?
Let me tell you something. I spent the last couple of days at Dragon Con in Atlanta.
How was that, Mac?
Oh, wow. Vince, there are, and I'm not kidding when I say this, the very first night I walk in and they're doing a countdown to start. And this is at midnight now. The entire hotel, you couldn't find a place to stand. There were tens of thousands of people walking around in costumes in Atlanta in the downtown area. I think their goal was supposed to be around 70 to 80,000 people or something like that coming. Maybe I may be wrong about that, maybe in higher than that. But just incredible to see the things that you see. It is funny because it's a lot like wrestling cons. We go there and we see people who dress up a little bit there. But these folks, man, they spend thousands of dollars on outfits that would just blow you away.
Did you see anybody there? Any big names? Anybody?
No, I could have gone to these celebrity areas, but you can't film. And I was there to film. So I was like, well, that's not going to do us any good. And, I don't care. I'd rather talk to the people who dress up. They're more interesting, really.
How's the new TV show?
Well, that's what we were filming for. So I don't know.
Okay.
We're getting footage right now, and hopefully we'll have something. I'm hoping by the end of this week or next
Very
week.
nice. I thought though that show was around like dirty jobs. You said
Well, it is. It's a combination of different things. Most of it is dirty jobs. Part of the first show will be me actually cutting a huge tree down using cranes and went. If you're afraid of heights, it's not the job for you.
that would be for me. Yeah.
So yeah, that first one will be that mixed in with the Comic Con as the second half of the show.
Oh,
so
nice.
That's
nice.
the plan. So
Yeah.
all right, let's see what else we got. Some other folks coming in here. I'll make sure we get up on the screen. David Duffett, Triple H needs trifocals if you think Sami is Sheamus a buddy. Did you get that, Vince? You're trying, aren't you?
I guess he's saying Triple H is buddies with Sheamus, and maybe he's mistaking Sami for Sheamus. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, that would be funny if that's the case.
I think so. Yeah.
All right, let's see. David, here we go. Solo soon to be so long off to AEW. I don't think Solo will go anywhere. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
And Traffic Jam, before we get back into the show here, Traffic Jam, Logan Paul and Chelsea Green are superstars. And I think we say that all the time on here, Vince. Chelsea Green, always entertaining to watch, no matter what she does. The camera loves her. And like we said in the beginning of the show, Logan Paul is just people still hate on him, and they're using part of the storyline of him only being there for 23 big matches or whatever. Damn, he's better than the majority of the people that are on that roster. No matter how you look at it, he's talented.
I agree with you. Yep.
And let's see what we got. One more in here, I think. Nope, that's it. No, yeah, we do. Here we go. Save Crystal Gaming as a bliss mark. Her butt cheeks stole the show.
What about that, Mac? You want to comment on that?
Look here. I love petite women with a nice booty. So yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Oh man. Yeah. Look, my wife, the reason I married her, she's all of about 5'2", 5'3". She's not that tall. Absolutely stunning woman. And when I first met her, she had a pair of Daisy Dukes on.
Oh,
and had that little, that little drop coming from the bottom of the thing.
Wow.
If she can hear me right now, she's probably she's hating me right now. Let's see. Super Omega, WWE is so boring. It's not worth watching anymore. I can't disagree with that. How about you, Vince?
I just don't know. I don't know how anybody could watch a show like tonight and say they care about the product they put on. I don't know how anybody can say that. I don't.
How many run-ins did we have at the end of each match? It seemed like almost every match had a run-in or somebody getting beat up after the match is over with. There was always somebody getting their ass handed to them. And if you do that several times during the show, it sticks out. You need to have different endings to matches. Would you write that way to try to make sure that these matches ended differently than the others?
You're looking at all the matches individually to make sure the finishes are somewhat different. And you certainly are not doing it back to back.
No,
you know the rule of thumb. Mac, now they'll have tag matches back to back, women match. You never did that. You never did a tag match back to back. You never did a woman's match back to back. You separated everything on the card. They don't care about anything anymore, man. They're just looking at that bottom line. How much?
They're just trying to fill time.
Yeah. How much did we make this week, man? That's all that really matters to them, man.
I don't know if you saw this, but somebody put up a video of the France crowd who they were chanting after spending money on the tickets. They started chanting, "We ain't got no more money. We ain't got no more money."
Yeah, what a surprise. Yeah, what a surprise.
Ticket prices, I know we talked about this briefly last week, and Vince, some of the prices that we were talking about were true. Those numbers are incredible to buy tickets to go see a WWE program now.
People are out of their minds, Mac. I ain't paying that kind of money for anything, bro.
No, I'm wondering who can afford it.
I got Paul McCartney coming to Coors Field, and you can sit in the front row for like $600, and I'm like, what are you crazy? I'm trying to get free tickets. I'm going to pay $600.
True, very true. Gerard Lead, former United States champions, Harley Race, Ric Flair, Stan Hansen, and now Sami Zayn. Let that sink in.
Yeah,
shaking my head.
let's let that sink in.
Yeah.
Let's let that sink in for just a bit.
Let's see. I'm trying to find something for us to talk about from the show. And honestly, honest to God, there wasn't much on there. We did find out, though, that Cody and Brandy gave birth to their second child. So congratulations to them. And maybe that's where they are. It's amazing to me, though, Vince, that they could give us the information that Cody and Brandy had a brand new child, but we still can't get a health update on Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just, like I said, the things to me that stood out were really like, why was Bo Dallas? Why is Sami Zayn going out there by himself when all the Samoans are out there from the jump? Why is there Randy Orton should not be allowed to wrestle in Paris? Based on what he did tonight, he should be fined, suspended, and they're not even going to talk about that next week. So any wrestler can lay out any referee, any official from the office, and it's going to be business as usual.
There was something we missed in the top of the show that I wanted to talk about. And going back real quick to John Cena and Logan Paul promo session. Wasn't the end of last week where he came up and cold clocked John Cena?
And John Cena came out jumping like the bunny rabbit, jumping around. Yeah. Mac, that was the first thing I said off the bat. He cold cocked you last week. That was the last thing we saw, and you're coming out slapping hands, all smiles.
Yeah.
And that's John Cena.
It just hit me, so I want to make sure I brought that up.
No, absolutely, Mac. These are the things. You guys may think we're nitpicking. This isn't nitpicking. This is them telling you, we don't give a shit, bro. We know you're going to buy the tickets. We know you're going to come. You're going to do the sing along. We don't care. It doesn't have to make sense, bro. That's what Mac and I are talking. This isn't nitpicking. This is shit that does not make sense.
It should be storytelling, and it's not storytelling. It's telling you something one week and forgetting all about it the next week. Exactly. You can't do that. I mean, Imagine that you're watching, back in our day, Batman was a big show, the campy Batman series. Yep. And at the end of each show, there was a cliffhanger. Can you imagine having a cliffhanger and then going back next week and they totally just ignore the last show?
Absolutely, yep.
All right, let's see what else we got here. The interest, I think getting released from WWE is good.
So do I. I agree with you, man.
All right, let's Aleister Black. We keep getting these promos from Aleister Black, Vince. And Aleister, I like these promos. I like his feel on these promos. I just don't know if it transfers to the ring. What about you?
Bro, they did this with him the first time around. Mm-hmm. Then he went to AEW. Now they're doing the same exact thing the second time around. Bro, his wife works for the company. Have somebody hit on his wife. I mean, do something. Do one freaking storyline that's different. You got his wife there. Maybe somebody accidentally hits her in a backstage fight or something. Let me see something. Nope, bro. He's cutting the same freaking promos he cut round one, and now he's just cutting them round two, and we're just putting different people against them.
Do you see this character ever working?
No. Nope. Not if they continue to go down this road.
What would you do with Aleister Black if you had him?
Mac, they've done the same exact thing with Rusev. Same exact thing. He was here, went to AEW. Now we're going to bring him back, and we're going to do absolutely nothing with him. First of all, Mac, we have to understand why he's mysterious like this, why he has this persona. Is it something in his childhood? Did something happen? Man, do you remember, Mac, the times when like Jim Ross would sit down with somebody? Remember when Jim Ross sat down with Mankind and he got the gullet? Remember?
Yep, I do.
What happened to the sit-down interview when we try to dig deep into the background to try to find out why the person? That's what I'm telling you, Mac. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody watching this show. They're not taking the time to do anything.
No, and that's really easy. There's a character in wrestling that I've been saying for a long time needed to be put in, and that is a Walter Cronkite kind of interview guy who comes in, and the only time that you ever see one of his interviews is when they're diving deep into one of these characters and trying to get some background and only using that character for that purpose. I think if they do that, they can help tell those stories as long as you help build that guy as well, that Walter Cronkite type of guy, where people will believe everything he says. And kayfabe could be to your benefit in the end if you can do that. If you can make him so believable that people believe and trust what he says, yeah, that's all a win-win when it comes to wrestling. Let's see. The interest also saying, been away from WWE for 10 years. And by the first Raw Dater Mania, I knew something was wrong. Hunter knows how to be booked. We not book. Sorry, brother. I'm not sure if I quite understand what you're saying.
I think he knows Hunter knows how to be booked as a talent, but he can't book as a booker. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Does it surprise you that Hunter doesn't know more about how to book a show and make it more entertaining?
No, because part of it, Mac, is his the way he's going to be remembered, his legacy. He wants to be remembered bigger than life. You think Triple H is an idiot when he is immediately on social media pointing at Sammy Dwarf with a heart condition in 10 years retired, and Triple H still towers over him? What's the message there? Yes. What's the message? This is the WWE United States champion. But look how much bigger than him I am. That's part of the problem. And Mac, I got to be honest with you. I'm not even saying they're doing it purposely. They're doing it subliminally. They never want anybody to be as great as them. And Shawn Michaels goes through the same thing, training these kids at NXT. And Triple H goes through the same thing of who he's going to push and who he's not going to push. That is why Karrion Kross is no longer a member of the WWE, because Karrion Kross could have been bigger.
Yes,
than Triple H. Sami Zayn ain't going to be bigger than Triple H, and Triple H knows that.
All right, if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is drop us a super chat. We'll throw it up on the screen and discuss it. Your comments or thoughts about tonight's show or anything that happened in the last week in wrestling. David Duffett popping in here saying, over under one clean finish main event before 2026. There haven't been a whole lot of real clean finishes that I can count lately. Can you?
Yeah, no, man, somebody, I swear, I wish I had. I think I might have deleted. I'm going to see if I can go find it on next week's show. God, bro, somebody sent me during the Attitude Era, like the ages of everybody that was being pushed. And bro, I swear it was like 28, 30, 32, 27, 31. It was all between, I'd say 28 and 34. 28 and 34, like everybody was in that sweet spot. Look at the ages of the guys that are on top of that company now. Sami Zayn, I think, is 42.
Yeah, they're all a little bit higher in age. Even Charlotte Flair, when it comes to the women, she's how old is she now? She's probably for a woman wrestler.
I would say she's got to be 38.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I see now that she was hanging out with some new guy. I saw some picture of her with somebody else now.
I didn't see that. Interesting.
Look here. There was something on tonight that blew me away. Meet Chin.
Yeah.
She comes out against Kiana James, who was the Victoria's Secret girl that we were talking about with the big purse and everything.
Big purse.
Yeah. Meechin wins in like 3 seconds. They hit the bell and boom, she rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. Meechin wins. What went through your mind when you saw that?
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. They're doing that. They're doing that with Big Purse because she beat Big Purse.
Yep.
Now she's got to have a match against Juliana. And Juliana's gonna beat Meechin. Like it's so predictable and ridiculous. It's not even funny.
Do you think that anybody truly cares about this matchup?
No.
Just because Meechin is in it, and I hate sounding like I'm a mean son of a bitch, and I'm not. But Meechin, to me, I've said this before, I don't believe is ready for primetime TV. I think she needs work. And maybe she'll come back with a different character that makes me care about her. But right now, I could care less. Yeah. And she's up against Juliana or Julia, whatever her freaking name is. And I could care less about that as well. Neither one of these two excite me whatsoever.
When Mac keeps repeating guys over and over, I could care less about this one. I can care less about that one. I could care less about that one. That's on the writers.
Yes.
The writers are not making you care. Guys, go put on Seinfeld tonight. When was Seinfeld in its heyday? 25 years ago? 30 years ago?
Yeah.
You cared about the characters. Any good show, you're going to care. When you are indifferent to the characters, that is on the writers. That means the characters are not well defined and there is zero emotional connection with you, the viewer, and the talent on your television screen. That is on the writer.
Let me ask you, this is one of the best stories that I think have been told in recent memory. Really has been back several years, maybe more, about 10 years ago. Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis, when they were running for the 10 pounds of gold, that series and that story and build up between the two is how you tell a story. They got in front of the camera and just started dropping truth bombs and mixing it in, a little work and a little shoot, and it came across incredibly well. I don't understand how a company like the NWA with a small little budget can tell a story like that and the WWE can't tell one at all. Makes no sense to me at all. All right, let's see. Drew McIntyre was out next, and Michael Cole, as I mentioned, has no update on Cody Rhodes.
How many times have we heard a talent cut the promo about you can't trust so and so? He's not. Yep. How many different versions of that have we heard?
Yeah, is Cody Rhodes your friend? Yeah.
We've heard that so many times, bro. Oh my God. I swear to God, bro, they've got like 5 go-to things and they just circulate them. They just keep revolving the same 5 things over and over and over again.
And they also seem to be using the typical kind of catchphrase. I don't know what you would say, basically, just these old school things. Like you said, there's about 5 of them maybe, and they just rotate them around the show, and every week it's basically the same thing. It becomes very hard to watch something that you feel like you watched the week before.
Absolutely.
The week before.
I always tell you, Mac, it's the gerbil running in the wheel. And guys, when you write the show, because like I said, Mac, we wrote from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. So you start with week 1. Now you take a next step. You got to keep elevating the story. By the time you're at week 4 and the pay-per-view is that weekend, you've got your explosion. But you need to advance that story every week. They run the same play every week. And you just keep seeing the same thing over and over and over and over. What guys, since we found out about Logan Paul and John Cena, okay? How have they advanced this story? What have they done to advance this story? We've put these 2 guys in a ring and let them cut promos back and forth on each other. That's not advancing the story.
No, it's telling the same story over and over again.
And buying time. That's all it is. You're buying time till we get to the match. That's it. That's all it is, man.
And hopefully that means that after this Sunday, maybe next Friday night, we'll start getting some fresh programming. That's wishful thinking. Let's see. The intro saying he literally turned it off after the roll-up. I imagine he's talking about the Sami Zayn roll-up at the end of the night. I kept thinking you were probably throwing things at your TV set.
Oh, no, I told you. Because I knew it was coming. I'm not throwing anything. He's going to be the world champion, guys. I'm telling you. But like I said, if my timing is correct, I will be done by the time Sami Zayn is world champion. So I'm cool with that.
Coach sipping Jamba Juice out of a straw says, Vince, you and Cornette always bring up Seinfeld.
Well, Seinfeld's a brilliant show, bro. Just brilliantly written. And just, oh my God, the defined characters, Mac, every character on that show, supporting cast, that's how you write a television show.
And I can understand why Cornette would bring it up like you know, because you're both storytellers. You know, I know maybe you don't see eye to eye, but you're both storytellers and great ideas each on how to tell a story and how it should be told in most cases. Like I say, I agree with a lot with what you say, and I agree with a lot what Jim says and what Eric Bischoff says. You each have something different and unique to provide. And it's, you know, if you listen to it all, you can really get some good stuff out of that.
I swear to God, Mac, I was just watching a show with my wife. It was on Netflix. Mac, in my bedroom, I have it set up like
I don't want to hear about your bedroom experience.
Well, no. We have the bedroom. Next to the bedroom is the bathroom, but I got it set up where I got a nice sized tub. I like taking my bubble baths, but I could see the TV from the tub.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
Mac, vision now.
Mac, I could see the TV. I could see the TV from the tub. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm telling you about a good show versus a bad show. So my wife's watching something on Netflix.
Okay, so I'm gonna just make sure I'm painting this right. Your wife is watching something on Netflix while you're in the tub with a little shower cap on and your bubbles.
No shower cap. Bubbles. I got bubbles. No shower
rubber ducky.
Cap. Rubber ducky. Yes, and I'm watching in the tub. She's watching on the bed.
Okay.
So guys, let me please explain to you so you understand I'm not a WWE hater. I'm a the way the WWE writes TV hater. So my wife's getting into this program. I'm in the tub and I start watching this program. And bro, guys, you should check this out. It's amazing. It's a show on Netflix, and there was a very, very small high school in Michigan. And all of a sudden, bro, there was these two kids that were dating very young, like maybe 14, 15. And they started getting these text messages from somebody like harassing them and like really making their lives miserable. The text messages, Mac, went from like 1 to 5 to 100 to 700 pages worth of these text messages.
Jesus.
So now, bro, they're pointing the fingers at and it's a small community. Now they're pointing all the fingers at all these kids that all of a sudden, all these kids are different suspects for different reasons. The superintendent's involved. They call in the police, bro. They call in the FBI. Like everybody is trying to figure out where are these text messages coming from. Okay, so to make a long story short, and I don't want to ruin it for anybody because you guys should really watch it. It's fascinating.
What's the name of it, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know, but just read the subscription, the thing. You'll see it. So, Mac, the person they found out it was shocking. So, guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about. We find out who it was. So, of course, my wife and I are sitting there. Why? Why would this person do it? Meanwhile, we're checking the time, Mac, because I knew I had to come do this show.
Yep.
So, Mac, we found out who did it. Shocking. There's 30 minutes left in the show. Uh-oh. Now they start laying out for us. This is why this person did it. This was the background. This is what happened. They lay the whole thing out. So now you're watching this, and by the time this show is over, you fully understand. Let's go back to what Max said. Who's Aleister Black? Bro, this guy has been on your television with your company not once but twice, and we still don't know who this dude is. That's why, guys, I say this show sucks. You've got to answer the questions the audience has. Why is Uncle Howdy all of a sudden coming out as Bo Dallas? And here's the problem with the WWE, Mac. There's no answers to the questions.
No.
Like, that would have been the equivalent of, we found out who's sending out these text messages. It's shocking. Show over. That would have been the equivalent.
Yeah,
No explanation. We don't know why she did it. That's the WWE. That's what sucks about this show.
And of course, telling stories is always helpful when you give it a lot of color, which is what he did in the beginning. He was in his tub, sitting in a bubble bath in his tub.
Yes.
He's giving you images and pictures of how you can tell.
People remember, guys. Do you remember when The Rock joined the corporation? That Monday night after the turn, Rock and Vince were in the ring. And they replayed everything on the big screen. You bunch of idiots. You bought this and you bought that. They laid out the 3 months prior.
Yep.
You can't just do things and not explain it to your audience, Mac.
It's because they're only shooting for the moment. That's it. They're shooting for the moment.
They're shooting for the house, and they're shooting for the moment, and they're shooting for the pop.
Angel Lucia, God, I'm sorry. How you have superstars like Randy, Cena, and Roman and no stories for them. They have Randy go out there for the sing-along and pops for the RKOs. Roman is the same thing. These guys need proper stories. Very, very true. Also, let's see, according to George, that's it. Just according to George.
George C. Okay,
he had a lot to say there. Get another question into us, George. Let's see. Roland Curtis off Vermont Avenue. Always good to have Roland in here. Cena said that the elephant in the room, WWE signed Logan after his pop culture fame was over. Rolling Stone listed the top 25 influencers in the world. No Logan Paul. Logan wouldn't make the current top 50. Okay. Anything you want to say about that, Vince?
No. He did make a reference to, you know what Logan Paul's really known for, right, Mac?
There's been a lot of bad things about him that I've heard. I know that one of the things, of course, now that's good is he has a Pokemon card he paid $1 million for.
Yeah, but what's the bad thing that he's...
The bad stuff, something to do with Japan. Am I right about that?
Yeah. He supposedly there's an area in Japan, like way back in the woods, where literally people go and hang themselves.
Yeah.
And he went in there and filmed it. And Cena alluded to it in the promo. When Cena said at 30 years old you did this, that's what Cena was alluding to.
What did you think about the Street Profits Miz Carmelo match? Anything you want to mention at all about that?
Don't care.
Don't care. How about Nick Aldis? This is lucky for him. He got a small bottle of Fireball tonight. Randy Orton passed that off to him. It was just like he got it off the airplane and handed it to him. Let's see. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. Something else that happened tonight back in the locker room, and they're not friends despite the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss aren't. We definitely know that those two, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, are not friends.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see. That's about it tonight.
I swear to God, people must think I'm ribbing. I swear to God, I wish I could tell you there's something on this show that I enjoy. I really do. I really wish. Yeah, I like Logan Paul. The guy's great. I like Chelsea. I think Chelsea's great. But we're talking about performers we like. We're not talking about angles.
No,
we're not talking about stories. We're talking about different performers that we like.
I like the fact that they tried to do something with the Wyatt Six and thread it through the show a little bit, but it just wasn't well done. And the fact that we don't understand why Bo Dallas came out instead of Uncle Howdy, that confused it as well. Everything else was thrown together. It was a do-nothing show again. And now, look, last week, there were several parts of the show that we put over that we enjoyed last week. I can't say that this week. I really can't.
Mac, it's like, bro, like, I swear to God, bro, Mac, I had this when I was working here in Rocky Mountain Pro, right? Mm-hmm. I had this one champion. And he was like a Viking / caveman, and he lived in the wilderness. He was of the land, Yep. So, and he was a big dude. I mean, really a big dude. And he wound up winning a belt. But he would not go to an arena to defend the belt. They had to go to him. So we're having matches in the mountains, bro. In Colorado, they're wrestling in the rivers because they had to go to him. Bro, do that with the Wyatt Six. Make them a spook house. Make them a saw house. That's all boogie trapped. And what do they call it with the traps? You know what I'm talking about.
The torture room.
Yeah, torture room. Like, make them a house. You want to go for those belts, you got to go to them. Mac, they can shoot freaking 4 matches in a day. Like, that could give you, like, 3 days of filming. 3 days of filming can give you literally 2 months of television.
But you got to understand that takes 3 days. They don't have time to do that.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. Do you know how awesome that would be, bro?
Yeah.
Do you know how awesome that would be? They had a House of Horrors.
Yes. And look, we're coming up in October. If nothing else, do something unique in October.
Thank you.
This is a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Look here, I want to throw something at you because unless there's something else about tonight's show you want to talk about.
No, I'm good. Let's go. I'm good.
All right. I came up with something last week and somebody sent in a question and I was like, okay, let me see if I can ask this in a different way. So I'm going to give you a scenario where you have to pick one. You're starting your own promotion. Okay. What?
Go ahead.
You're starting your own promotion and you have to pick one. So here we go.
You're my first hire, Mac. You are my first hire. You're going to do color. You're going to wrestle. You're going to be my stick man. You're going to be whatever I need you to be, Mac.
Oh, well, hey, as long as you got the money to pay me, I'm good with anything. You know how it goes. All right. For the boss of your own promotion, you have a choice of Paul Levesque or Tony Khan.
Now, are you talking about a legit boss or a character boss?
No, if you've got somebody who you want to run as a legit boss in this case, yes, it's to run the company. If you've got your own promotion and you want somebody to run it and be creative and everything, who's it going to be, Paul Levesque or Tony Khan?
And those are my only choices.
That's the only 2 choices you got.
I would say this for a simple reason, and you guys have heard me say it a million times. I would say Tony Khan because Tony Khan was never one of the boys.
All right.
Triple H is one of the boys, will always be one of the boys, and that's going to have an effect on the way he runs the company and does business. Example, Karrion Kross.
And I think Tony Khan's hungry. No matter what, I think he's hungrier than Hunter.
I believe that too. I do believe that too.
I'm not saying his stories are better, but
listen, I believe Tony Khan is not afraid to work. Tony Khan is not afraid to get his hands dirty. He's not afraid to get in the trenches. He's not afraid to be a part of the team. He's writing a show that he likes, the type of wrestling show that he was a fan of. Yep. That's why he's got a very small audience. You got to open it up to the masses, bro.
Head of creative. This is somebody else, I guess, basically the same kind of thing, but in a lower position. Bruce Pritchard or Jim Cornette.
Oh God, I could not hire either one of them. And not that they're not any good. Not that they're not any good, but in 2025, no.
Who would you put there yourself if you could pick someone? Who do you think has that talent?
I mean, bro, I work with a guy that came up through OVW. He was there when they had that freaking class with all the stars. I mean, he was right smack in the middle of it. I work with a guy called Bin Hameen. I don't know if you know who Bin is.
Yep.
Bro, he's got a brilliant, absolutely brilliant mind. Understands the business. I would, an Al Snow. Al still knows what he's doing, man. I do a show with Al every week. He's all over it. There's a lot of good creative people out there, man.
All right. Your women's division is a choice of Mi Chin or B-Fab.
Oh, my God. Who's coming up with these, Mac? Mac, who's coming up with these?
Well, a lot of these are me.
I would say Mi Chin because she does come across as a little tougher.
Well, I'll give her that. Yeah, I agree. And I think that there's at least as much as we see Mi Chin, I feel like we probably see her more than we do B-Fab now. B-Fab's just kind of a tag along when it comes to the street profits.
Mi Chin, listen, but I'm not taking. She looks like a badass. Like Mi Chin looks like she could hurt you in a fight. They don't know how to book her, but she looks like she could F you up.
All right, here's a tough one for you. This is the men's division now. This is going to be your champion. This is your
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he's one of them, as a matter of fact. And the other one is Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Because at least you see with Kevin Owens, like he's got a little bit of an edge.
Yes.
Like Kevin Owens is the kind of guy, like he might not be impressive to look at, but you kind of feel like if you got in a fist fight with him, like he'd bite your nose off. You know what I mean? Like
yes,
he'd do whatever he'd have to do. You get that feeling with Kevin Owens. You do.
Yes, you do. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Roland Curtis off Vermont Avenue, the kid that Braun Breaker speared at Royal Rumble, Rolling Stone voted him #1 top influencer in the world. Now would be the time for WWE to sign him. What was that guy's name? Was it Speed something, I think?
Speed something. Yeah, something Speed. Yeah.
I remember that spear. I remember he didn't turn fully for that spear, and he took it on the side more, and man, he just cut him in half.
He 1000% got concussed off of that, without a shadow of a doubt.
Is Braun Breaker on Raw?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's why I'm not seeing him, I guess. I haven't, because you don't see him that much unless I guess you're watching Raw, and I don't get paid to watch Raw. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about, Vince, before we get out of here?
No, guys. If you want to support me, if you want it, that's great. If you don't, that's okay too. But I'm giving a free week, guys, so you could sample the brand. It will cost you nothing. You could try us out. Just go to patreon.com/Russo TWC.
You didn't get any fights with Disco this week, did you?
I haven't spoken to him probably in about 2 weeks now.
Wow. Yeah, and then I can understand why. Hey, look, if you'd like to help me out, I could use the help when it comes to Road Trip After Hours on YouTube. If you'll go by and just hit subscribe and notifications so you'll know whenever we drop a brand new video. I do a show with Teddy Long on Thursday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern time live. But now this past week, we didn't do one because I was on the road. But we'll be back again next week and hope you'll join us for that. And that's it. Vince, I'm out of here. I'm going to go enjoy the weekend. Got a long few days left of this weekend to go, and I'm going to take full advantage of it.
I hope you enjoyed a Clash in Paris, Mac. You could tell me all about it after you watch it for 6 hours, Mac.
I'm not watching it.
I know you're not.
It's because Disco told me it's better to watch it in clips.
Yeah, you just got to watch 8 minutes of it, and you'll see what you got to see, Mac.
Yes. Yeah, man, and that's all you will need to see. We're out of here. I'm Mac Davis. That's Vince Russo, and this has been BroDown. See you next week.